Good morning, everyone. As the CEO had already introduced me, I am Thulile Zwane. I am a board member at the Youth Enterprise Revolving Fund. I'm also the sustainability expert for the International Trade Center under the United Nations. I have a master's in agricultural economics. I also have a management development program from the University of Stellenbosch. And yeah, the list goes on. It's not about me today, it's about you. Program director, principal secretary in his absentia, board members and staff of the Youth Enterprise Revolving Fund, our distinguished sponsors, our partners, the youth of Eswatini, Umliba Wetfu, representatives from all the media houses, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, the CEO had said most of the things that I had prepared to say. So I'm left with nothing to say as part of my keynote, but the chairman of the board, as the CEO had mentioned, has asked me to make apologies on his behalf. He had an emergency that he needed to attend this morning, but he will be joining us in a few hours. It does give me a great pleasure to be making opening remarks for this important day, this inaugural event by the Youth Enterprise Revolving Fund. And by God's grace, we are hoping that we'll be able to continue doing this annually. This week, which is the week of the 13th to the 19th of November, is the Global Entrepreneurship Week, which is celebrated throughout the world. As the Youth Fund, we saw it only appropriate that we take part in these global celebrations through this Umliba Youth Entrepreneurship Conference. And basically, this week celebrates and empowers youth entrepreneurs and equally challenges you, the youth, to create solutions for economic growth, not just locally, but worldwide. The CEO did mention that I think it's time that the youth takes part and participates actively in export for this country. And this is also an opportunity to bring to the forefront the structural barriers that exist, that the youth face as they partake in their entrepreneurship endeavors. And then the Ingwenyama, His Majesty the King Mswati III, has given us a slogan, and he said, "This is the year of a turnaround." So just yesterday I was attending the Women Farmer of the Year competition, which is hosted by WFF. And for the first time in their 16 years, they've also started awarding youth who are participating in agricultural farming. And the person who won was 21 years old. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that, I think that's an eye-opener, and it's very interesting to see, you know. And I think we should be going back to Umlisa Simchele Gutsi. No, the people who will bring the turnaround in this country, it's the youth. Right. Over the past couple of years, the past 2 to 3, 4 years or so, the country has been facing enormous dramatic shifts. There was the COVID-19, there were the unrests in an economy that was already struggling. And that has presented so many odds. The odds have never been so against the youth. And besisibayeni, sibavile bakhuluma, iyakhala youth. And I will quote one speaker, Lotsite, le youth yethu bafunzile, but bahlele endlini bayaklina lokusla. You see, so we have a major task in our hands to support the youth in their creative ideas and entrepreneurship ideas. And more especially, I will challenge the youth themselves, that they need to kick down the doors. They need to come knocking. They need to challenge the status quo. They need to stand up. And then only when people see you moving, then people start asking, you know, and then donors come. supporters come, funds come, the support that we need will come. The support will not find you uhlele ekhaya. You need to start something. Little as it is, you need to start something. Umsuthu used an example, what did you call her? Apiwe. Ube apiwe bekahlele ekhaya, Chris Brown bekatambona. No. So you need to challenge yourself. Do something, anything. Challenge yourself. Then everyone else will come on board. So that's the challenge that I have for the youth. So YERF has introduced the Umliba Youth Entrepreneurship Conference in collaboration with its partners to empower, to motivate and educate the youth of Eswatini. And this aligns with the global entrepreneurship ecosystem where we are living in a very robust and fast revolving world where there's technology, there's AI and so on and so forth. So we thought we need to bring the youth together and, let's engage, let us understand what is going on there and streamline our activities. So, Umsuthu did mention that we did a study with UNICEF, and Ula study, mainly it was to identify the gaps and the challenges that are existing. And we did find glaring results. Some of the challenges that were cited was lack of infrastructure, high input costs, inadequate access to funding, and so on and so forth. And therefore, we have identified 4 strategic pillars, which will be the focus of today's deliberations, which are aimed at unlocking the full potential of our entrepreneurs and resolving these structural challenges that are impeding the development of our youth businesses. So these pillars, number 1, is to create an enabling entrepreneurship ecosystem and business landscape to ensure a seamless process for registering formal businesses and improve the ease of doing business. Number 2 is to improve the access to finance for small businesses to fund ideas and projects with potential to create substantial value. Number 3 is sustainable agriculture solutions and market access that will mitigate operational risks and improve access to global markets and preferential trade areas. And finally, innovation and technology in business to improve productivity, efficiencies, and economies of scale. The fund is excited because it has been working on the ground, and I'm happy to report that the Youth Fund has supported over 1,000 youth businesses in Eswatini since its inception, and it has disbursed over 27 million as seed capital to foster growth and development to youth businesses. There is an appetite to support more youth businesses, and we do implore our partners to also contribute, help, complement what the Youth Fund is doing. I was just having a discussion just this morning, the director MSNE, and he was telling me that there is a Taiwan fund that is also coming on board. So I do implore the youth to also keep an eye. I hope Director Nsathat's speech But I'm just saying, we do implore our partners and other sponsors out there to also fund and complement what the YERF is doing. Lastly but not least, I would like to acknowledge the contribution of our partners, our sponsors, our moderators, the presenters of the day, the volunteers, and everyone who has made this work possible. We look forward to future collaborations and with other stakeholders, and I hope that today we can learn from each other, and above all, inspire each other to make our country a better and a prosperous place to live. Asithini Ngwe. Thank you. May God bless you all.